This is Christine Brown, and while I have to listen to this podcast as my motherly duty, you have the choice not to. My sons, and of course Michael, sometimes say some naughty things when they're trying to be funny, but really, they're just being stupid. You still want to listen? Go right ahead. I am not your mother.
Welcome back to part 2 of a very special episode, the Super Bowl episode. We thought this was such a special one, and because Matt Chatham talked for as long as he did, we thought we'd split this into 2 episodes. So this is episode 2 of the Super Bowl, 2001 Super Bowl. So thanks for coming back to us. We're going to take you to Sunday, February 3rd, 2002 in Louisiana Superdome. It's pre-Katrina. This is the old Super Bowl. Your New England Patriots are facing the greatest show on turf for the second time this season. The first one didn't go the Patriots' way, and because of that, these Patriots are 14-point underdogs, the biggest underdogs, I think, in Super Bowl history.
Wrong.
Well, that's true. They're not the biggest underdogs. They're the biggest underdogs.
Who's the biggest underdogs?
At this time. Yeah, Greg, who was the biggest underdogs?
I don't know. I looked it up, and it was some old one. It was 18.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, was that the Joe Namath one?
it might have been. I'll look it up.
Guaranteed victory? I know the biggest blowout was, but I don't think the spread was.
Well, I was talking about upsets. Yeah, Jets Colts Super Bowl 3, 18-point spread.
Wow.
Didn't they only score like 18 points a game back then too?
Yeah, it was final score was 16-7.
Well, we're not going to ruin the final score of this one. We're not even going to tell you who won. I think that's going to ruin that. So we've already talked about the Rams, really, because we saw them in Week 10. Talked about how great their offense is. They have a solid defense, yada, yada, yada. Nothing huge in that. So I think we should probably just get into this game, because this was a game that I felt like I had watched more recently than I had, but there was a bunch of plays in here that were big plays that I completely forgot.
Wait, can we talk about Kurt Warner first?
Yeah, all right.
Go T.
Because I went down a Kurt Warner rabbit hole.
Oh, all right. I love your rabbit holes. Let's hear it.
His story is ridiculous. It's crazier than Brady's, without a doubt.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Just his rise. Like he was a third string quarterback at the University of Northern Iowa.
The power.
So,
yep.
Yeah, Matt Chatham's. I think the same conference.
I think they were. Yeah, I think he talked about that.
So 1AA. He goes undrafted in 1994. Gets picked up for the Packers training camp, competing with Brett Favre, Mark Brunell, and Ty Detmer.
Jesus.
The coaches, Mike Holmgren, Steve Mariucci, and Andy Reid.
God damn, that's a fucking powerhouse.
Yeah, all 3 agree he sucks. They cut him. So then famously, after he gets cut,
Ty Detmer.
yeah, he's stocking shelves at a grocery store for $5.50 an hour in Cedar Falls.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine anything more depressing?
Yeah, cleaning pools.
Hey, that was like $8 an hour.
Doing it during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So then he goes to the Arena League. So in college, too, as soon as he played his senior year, lit it on fire. He goes to the Arena League, lights it on fire. He, wins 2 Arena Bowls. He's, first in the league in yards and touchdowns, all these stats. He gets a tryout with the Bears. And before he goes on his honeymoon before training camp, gets bit by a spider.
What?
And can't compete at camp.
Where did he go on his honeymoon?
What kind of spider?
Australia. It's got to be Australia.
Yeah.
Some big fuck off spider bit his ass.
I see Sneaky. I think, you know how he's super religious.
Yeah.
This is just a theory, but he wasn't, he's saving himself for marriage. I don't even know if that's true. But as soon as he busted a nut, instead of that, 2-minute moment of clarity you have,
Yeah.
He just had like a 6-month one.
It's like, just skip the Bears.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this, dude. What am I doing?
I can do so
Okay.
much more with my life.
That's my theory.
And then a
So
thing after the game. Okay.
Okay.
So then he goes to NFL Europe, plays for the Amsterdam Admirals with his backup Jake Delhomme. Didn't know that either.
Didn't know
Oh,
that.
shit.
Yeah. He lights it on fire in Europe as well. So everywhere he goes, he's just been
Tears it up, yeah.
tears it up. He ends up with the Rams. They pick him up as their 4th string quarterback, and they put him up for the NFL expansion draft when the Browns were expansion.
yeah.
They were like, nah, we don't want him. And then he somehow ends up being the backup because they like traded Tony Banks and released Steve
lighted it up.
Bono. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Trent Green tore his ACL, and all of a sudden your starter is Kurt Warner, 1999.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He throws for 4,300 yards, 41 touchdowns, 65% completion percentage,
God damn.
14 touchdowns in his first 4 games.
God
Yeah,
damn.
back then too. That's crazy.
Yeah, wins the MVP, wins the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP, all in his first season in the NFL.
Good
Just
Lord.
just a ridiculously meteoric rise.
How old was he when he first got his shot? Because I mean, he went
Like 45.
bounced around, huh?
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, he graduated college in '93. So
6
yeah,
years
he's gotta
after
be
that. So he's probably
late-
27-ish.
yeah,
Graduated at 21.
late 20s.
Yeah.
And then signs a 7-year contract right after that year.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, imagine his wife. She must be like, God damn, I hit the jackpot.
Yeah, right. Finally, all that was worth it.
This time
Yeah,
last
you're
year,
up.
you were making $5.50 an hour, and I was a breadwinner in this house.
Yeah, for real. And then the rest is kind of history. I mean, back-to-back MVP, or 2 out of 3 years MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he lit it up in 01. So this is his 3rd year in the league, and he's just been. This is like, I think, the height of his career.
Yeah.
I mean, he falls apart after this game, but this is
injuries
peak.
more than anything, right?
Yeah, that actually, funny enough, it was a lot to do with the thumb. So you get the thumb injury in this game, and I think that carried him for like 4 years. Like, stayed.
Well, I
with him.
remember, I don't even think he got it in this game. I think he got it at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on
And-
the broadcast.
Because in the last game,
Yeah,
and he's still having issues with it. Here they're talking about him like having some like grabby thing that he's always squeezing so that he can like try to get the thumb up, but he's like it'll and maybe it just
Grabby
did never
thing.
get better. Yeah.
I know. Strangely, I know what you mean when you
Yeah,
say.
you know
grab.
exactly. I mean that little easy thing with the springs, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It was John Madden, so I'm pretty sure he actually said grabby thing. That may have been verbatim.
I'm going to go on record and say John Madden was a better commentator than I remember.
Loved him. I
I wrote that
thing.
down too. Yeah, let's go there. John Madden, Pat Summerall. This was actually Pat Summerall's last ever game that he did.
Good.
Well, it was good.
He
Pat Summerall was
sucked.
terrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
Pat
he
Summerall.
Brutal.
He was awful.
Well,
He would like start a
favorite-
sentence and then just not finish it. And you're like,
my
are you going to say
favorite
something
Pat
next?
Summerall thing was that he would fall for every trick play that any team ran.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots did what they've been doing all season with the direct snap to Kevin Falk. It was like, oh, it's a high snap and the ball goes over Brady. Oh, wait, no.
Well, he's so like monotone too, and that one play was the one where you could tell he was actually surprised because he actually had some emotion in his
He
voice.
did, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
he's so bad.
Yeah, it was rough, but I agree with Steven. I thought John Madden was a lot better than I remember. Because you remember just like all the stupid shit that he says?
Yeah.
But when you actually listen to him, like a lot of it is really good and really informative stuff. And you can see why he lasted as long as he did.
I remember
And-
mom saying that she liked him because when she was learning the game, he would explain it. And sometimes he would, like, he'd dumb it down. So, like, stuff that, like, I'm like, yeah, no shit. But then I remembered that comment mom must have made years ago where she loved him because he would explain it to her when she had no idea what the hell was going on.
Right, absolutely.
And he like jokes around too.
Yeah, he was having a great time with it.
When the rest are talking about that holding call and the guy like held his hand for like 10 seconds. Did you see that part?
Yeah.
He's like, he must got a good one. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the side
Yeah,
judges
because the referee was like, he
Yeah.
hadn't pointed which way he was going to do it. He's like, well, he doesn't know which way it's going, but you can tell by the look in the referee's eyes that he's got a good one because they're wide open.
he was too. The guy was standing there with his eyes wide open, just holding his fist.
Oh yeah, he did. He was very quotable.
Well, I mean, my impression coming away from it, because I've watched that final drive a ton, is him like saying they shouldn't go for it and then doubling down, right? And you're like, John Madden doesn't know anything. But you look at it from the big picture, he's got a point where like they're on the 17, they had
no time,
minute whatever, and some change left. Brady's a rookie. I see his logic now.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown in like
and then halfway through,
yeah,
he switches. He's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm on board with this.
Yeah.
Like, all right. You admit when he's wrong. Yeah, no, listen to him back now, 20 years later, I've changed my I'm sure I know he said some like silly things, but they're never like stupid. They're never wrong, like you'd say for like a Dan Fouts.
But they're not super biased either. He didn't seem to be like crazy biased.
No, it was more just like excited to watch a football game, kind of like you see with Tony Romo these days. We're just excited to see good football being played.
Love that too.
Yeah, it had that like joyful feeling to it to me.
Also, this is the best Super Bowl logo of all time, in my opinion. Like Super Bowl logos, I don't even remember them really, but this one, it's awesome.
Oh, this was the peak, and then they were kind of samey after this one. And then eventually they all got standardized, and now they're the same thing every year.
I don't know why they do that either. It's stupid.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Apparently, it's supposed to be something different too.
What do you mean?
This like one was?
Yeah, they had a different logo, and they were like they had sold some merchandise with the old logo, and then obviously the 9/11 thing. There's a lot of patriotic themes around the Super Bowl, so they ended up changing it.
That makes sense. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just Google it.
Yeah, if you
like a very New Orleans theme looking
logo. Yeah, I did. I like the. Yeah, I like the one they went with better.
Yeah.
Look who did some research this week.
Fucking hell.
Didn't watch the game, but did some research.
Wikipedia.
Greg's like also. He's like the Rain Man of Patriots football. He just remembers it. 20 years ago. He doesn't have to watch him. Son of a bitch.
Shout out Matt Chatham for putting me onto the LA Kiss television show.
Yeah? Have you started watching that yet?
Dude, I watched like 5 episodes last night.
Yeah, and it's worth watching?
Dude, I say I'm gonna tell you something that it doesn't make me proud. Kelly cried.
Excuse me?
Kelly cried in episode 3.
Tears of like joy, tears of sadness, like what?
Tears of joy. When BJ Bell, the underdog, made the team so he could play with his brother. Kelly was. It's a clear sign you're on quarantine.
It was mixing up. Yeah, it really is.
Well, I can hear her in the background yelling at you.
Oh yeah. She's been cussing from downstairs.
It was tears of happiness.
Tears of happiness.
All right, still tears over a Kiss football team.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so. So we may have to in the future do a like a bye-week episode or something.
It's worth it. There's enough to talk about there to unpack, as they say.
Maybe we should do like a mini series of like we'll review each episode.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that much.
Yeah.
Even better. All right. Do you have any more? I had some Kurt Warner notes actually.
What do you got?
So I noticed it in the last game, but they didn't talk about it. But he had that big long face mask, kind of like similar to Drew Bledsoe's.
Yeah.
But then it had like an extra loop at the bottom.
Yep.
I'm like, why the fuck does he have this? That's just like to hang his tie on or something. I don't understand why it's that extra thing. But they actually talked about it in this game where apparently his vocal cords got injured somehow. They didn't explain how it happened. I'm guessing he just got like a shot to the neck or something. But he couldn't talk.
Bite.
Snake bite.
It's post-nut clarity. But so they put that there while it was healing so it wouldn't come, because he apparently lost his voice for like a week or two. Not a great thing.
No.
So they had it there for that, and then they left it there so it wouldn't get fucking crazy injury to get.
Yeah. Does that even extend far enough down?
No.
I think it did because he took a shot like directly in that spot from Willie McGinnis at one point.
Oh yeah.
He stayed in there late and just like I think he actually ended up throwing the ball away, but like Willie McGinnis, top of his dome was like right in his chin. So maybe it did help.
He took
Yeah.
a lot of shots in this game.
He took a lot of shots in this game.
He had a
I
bloody
think at
lip.
one point they said it was 11 hits through
Yeah.
like 3 quarters or something. And he was also at this point he was second in NFL history in attempts without an interception in the Super Bowl with 60. And then proceeds to throw 2 interceptions in the next 11 attempts. Spoiler alert. But I'm assuming that's been broken since because people just actually throw more passes in games in general. But
Yeah.
there was I took a bunch of screenshots because there was a bunch of like stats that they put up on the chevron at the bottom, and there was some didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I actually found a video when I was YouTubing this of home video reactions to this game from
Really?
some people in like these Boston fans. And like the quality is what you'd expect, but
Oh yeah.
one of the things they brought up was like, where the fuck are they pulling these stats from? I swear to God, they're just throwing anything up there.
It's true. Let me just give you a taste of some of them. So at the beginning, when the Rams started the ball, they showed the rankings of the offense and defense. The Rams offense was best in the NFL. The Patriots defense somehow 24th in the NFL.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't know
fucking
what
stat they're
metric.
using for that.
Yards, probably.
Maybe?
Even that. I don't know.
Yeah, 24 seems real low, even for yards. Not sure what that was. But then moments later, they showed the Patriots defense have allowed 1 opening drive touchdown in the last 26.
That's a pretty good stat.
Well, versus right, yeah. But they're the 24th ranked defense. I'm not quite. It's got to be like yards. And then on the opposite side of the ball, this was also surprising. They showed the same stat but reverse. Patriots offense 19th in the NFL, which feels about right.
Yeah.
Middle of the road kind of. Rams defense. Anybody want to guess where they ranked in the NFL?
Like 5th?
Higher.
Really?
3rd in the NFL.
Yeah, they got to be using yards then, because I don't know.
It's got to be something like that. I don't know what it is. So not great.
Can-
But there was a lot of. I'll do some more later. But there was a lot of. Oh, this was one other one. The Patriots defense in the postseason. They were showing that the defensive special teams had scored 3 touchdowns, and the Patriots offense had also scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That
Balance.
definitely.
Goes back to our 3 phases of the game.
Defense wins championships.
Yes, it
Can you-
does.
Can you name the 5 Hall of Famers that started for the Rams in this game?
Ooh,
Falk. Bruce.
Yep.
Warner.
Yep.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Who's the left tackle? Orlando Pace.
Yep.
Wow. Fuck.
Aeneas Williams or
Yes.
Ooh.
Wow. Well done, guys. I didn't think
Wow.
you'd get that.
I don't think we get any of those, but we got all 5.
Also, the white defensive back Hall of Famer, Adam Archuleta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. Him
Just
and,
taking snaps gets you in the white defensive back. Hall.
him and Jason Sehorn are.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Dre Bly was sick too. I love Dre Bly.
Yeah.
He was
Bly
good in this
was good
game.
in this game.
They had a good secondary.
That's a pretty dope name too.
Yeah.
Because if he went by like Andre, not as cool. Like Andre.
Yeah.
Bly.
yeah.
Speaking of
You go
dope
Dre
name, the
Bly?
guy,
I-
kick
I-
returner. Yo Murphy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I need to hear Berman. I tried to look up, see if Berman had a like a prime time for this, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for it too, and I couldn't find it either.
Because a couple of my favorite Berman nicknames are in this. Ricky Proehl, remember Proehl
Yeah.
shampoo? And he said like, Ricky Proehl shampoos his way for a first down. Or Azahir Hakim when he used to go, Hakim.
Oh, fuck, you did, didn't they?
My favorite Bermanisms.
Oh, they're all my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
They're
He was a
just so good.
genius.
He really
Yeah.
is, yeah. Well, all right. I mean, should we talk about this game a little bit?
I guess.
Yeah, all right. So, opening quarter, the Rams actually took the lead, which I had forgotten. Did
It's
you
the
guys
only lead
remember?
they'd have.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Kicked a 50-yard field goal, which at the time was the third longest field goal. And it was
Hmm.
only the third field goal of over 50 yards. I believe they said.
Oh, they put up a whole bunch of stats on that. Like, yeah, that's the third longest field goal. And he's like, yeah, that's one of 3 50-yard field goals. Well, no shit. If it's the third longest field goal and it's 50 yards, then the other two are going to be at least 51 or more.
And then that was kind of all that had. The Pats didn't. They started a bit slow. I thought Antoine Smith. I kept like remembering him as more of a game changer in this season, but it felt like every game he would start off averaging like 2 yards a carry in the first half, and then wear the team down, and would eventually end up averaging 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, he got 92 yards and 5.11 per carry.
Yeah, and I feel like this game was the same thing. Like he started off the first like probably quarter and a half, averaging like a yard a carry, and then started wearing them down and breaking bigger runs.
It's the Derrick Henry effect.
Yeah, exactly the same idea. Or even a Corey Dillon.
Yeah.
Like Garrett Blunt as well. Second quarter was probably the most. Rams actually, to open the second quarter, missed a longer field goal, 52 yards.
Wait. We're not doing best and worst for quarters?
We're going to do it by the half.
Oh, jeez.
Why? You got a best and worst for every goddamn quarter?
Yeah, of course.
All right, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it.
Oh, God. I don't have any.
Yeah, me neither. But fuck it, for sure. Bullshit. Something.
You said we didn't do nothing in the first quarter. We set the tone. There's
Right,
back-to-back plays where Tabucky like absolutely laid lumber.
Oh, yeah. That one on
Yeah,
the
that one on the
sidelines.
sideline.
Yeah, well, they overthrew him a little bit.
Just decleated. Was it Isaac Bruce?
Laying lumber on the crossover, right? They threw like a crosser, like a shallow crosser to Bruce, and like ball was right there and just like whipped him down. I don't know. They came out and they were just hitting people everywhere. And the worst was first kick of the game was a 40-yard return.
Yeah, that's how the Rams started. The Rams won the opening toss, elected to receive the football, and then took the opening kickoff out to the
And then they punted it to like our 1.
or 3, actually. Yeah, that was my best. Was Tom Brady's first snap in a Super Bowl was from his own 3-yard line, and they decided to go empty backfield and had him throw a quick slant to who else? Troy Brown.
Yep,
And that was his first ever play from scrimmage.
that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, you got a best, Greg?
Well, I didn't. I was kind of scared there because I don't remember either of those plays that you just mentioned. So I don't know if I just like zoned out for a bit, but I don't know if this is in the first quarter, but Madden or Summerall asked Madden if he had prowled Bourbon Street earlier in the week.
Yeah, I think that was the first quarter.
He's like, I don't know if prowl is the right word, but yes, I made a stop there on Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah,
Even better.
I think that's all I had written down. We'll call it best and worst. The worst, the question was the worst. Answer was the best.
Love it. All right, Steve, do you have a worst? Did you do a worst? Oh,
That
yeah, the worst.
kick
The 40,
return,
yeah.
just ridiculous to Yo. You can't get right to Yo.
Oh, also they came out as a team. They kind of set that whole bar.
Yes.
I think most people remember that, but
Yep.
I have a note in
First
here.
time-
When did the Crazy Train intro start?
It was in place at the. I think
Like,
it
they
was.
do
Were
it.
they playing Crazy Train on the intro in the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
Apparently, I didn't watch the first quarter.
Well, the YouTube one that I thought they came out to Crazy Train. In my mind, they did. We'll fact check it.
Also,
Even though it's a
there's
Super Bowl episode, some things never change.
there's some controversy about when this game was to be played, as Matt kind of mentioned in the interview.
Yeah.
Just because of the 9/11, they pushed everything back, and I guess they didn't do 2 weeks back then in between the conference game and the Super Bowl.
I didn't think so.
Because I was thinking, why wouldn't they just make the 2 weeks 1 week and then keep it the same day? But they actually had to move this game back a week.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Really?
Yeah. So they must have only been doing 1 week at this point. And apparently there's all sorts of discussions around whether they should like make the playoffs more compact, like play games midweek,
Oh, no shit.
like cut out a week of the season. Because there was like some automobile show already booked in the stadium for that weekend.
Yeah, because I remember like right after 9/11 happened in the Boston Globe, there was articles talking about how like even directly after this happened, they were already like the NFL was already on the phone with like the people, like I think it was the Metrodome people, Superdome rather, and they were like trying to convince them to push the auto show, huge thing, and
it's a fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But
tell them to beat it, you know.
Apparently
Find like
they
a
did.
grassy field or something.
But it was literally like a few days later they were talking about this, and it was just like so.
Yeah. So apparently they gave them financial considerations, and also they let them run free ads during the Super Bowl.
No shit.
I don't know if it's for the cars or the
Gotta be right
show.
Gotta be the car manufacturer.
If you gave me a chance to do a free ad during the Super Bowl, it would be so inappropriate.
What would that look like?
Oh, it'd be awful. I know that.
I think Greg Brown mooning the camera.
I think tone deaf would probably be a good way to describe it.
Half your beard is shaved.
Yeah, exactly.
Greg Brown wearing a thong that has an elephant trunk at the front. And he's just swinging it around in a circle for 30 seconds.
Man,
hey, I googled the Crazy Train thing. There's a blog post by the guy who used to work for the Patriots that did all of this. He said he did it in '98. Yep.
So it did start before that, yeah.
They used to come out to jock jams. Are you ready for this?
It does not ring a bell.
Yeah.
Also, did you know that Janet Jackson was supposed to perform halftime?
Really? But they pushed it.
Yeah. And they pushed U2. Come on, you know that.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a beautiful day. Hey, hey.
And they had all the names scrolling on the big sheet in the middle.
You remember that, Steve. Come on. Steve's just trying to be like too cool for pop culture right now.
Nah, Steve was in the bathroom taking a shit at this point.
I just looked up who did Crazy Train.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, imagine if this was they doing all this America stuff and then Justin Timberlake rips off Janet Jackson. With the titty out.
What a tribute.
Everyone's just like saluting around them.
Holy shit.
Tone deaf, you know?
Seems to be the theme of this podcast episode. Not where I expected this one to go. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
All right, second quarter. Opens up. Roman Pfeiffer playing safety and laying lumber, literally on the first play.
Yep.
And Kurt Warner taking an absolute shot. Well, they were playing a big zone. Looks like he got a really deep drop.
Yeah, it's almost like a Tampa 2 sort of thing where he dropped in that. But yeah, he looked out of place back there.
Yeah.
Even next to the likes of Lord Malloy, he was still towering over.
What an athlete, though, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Also, Grant Windstrom looked pretty good.
He did.
That dude was a monster.
Yeah, I had forgotten about him, but he was a good player.
Yeah,
they did like a zone blitz where he like dropped into coverage and covered Kevin Falk.
Yeah. Covered him pretty well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was Richard Seymour was out there running down Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
On one of those pass plays where it looked like he was actually supposed to be in coverage too, because Marshall Falk came out of the backfield and the guy that peeled off to cover him was Richard Seymour, which doesn't seem particularly.
I mean, he still got beat for like 10 yards, but he definitely.
Yeah, but he still ran his ass down.
He looked good doing it.
Although I will say, if we're gonna give him some shit, we gotta give him some props for his sack. He literally takes the right guard and throws him aside like the guy's just a child, and then just runs straight after.
He's like a cartoon.
He is, yeah. He's
Cartoon monster or something.
He's just bigger than everybody else. He just looks like he's playing with like younger kids.
Yeah.
It's like Gronk, that same sort of like he's just too big to be what. Let's go back to the second quarter. So,
Greg, you want to do your best? You want to do your best for this quarter?
I think
we talk
you
about the
know,
fucking quarter
Stevie.
first. I think we'll leave that until we get to it because I think it's going to be Greg's. So the Rams miss a 52-yarder, and the Pats get the ball at their own 41, which is by far the best starting field position because the 2 drives before that they started at their 3 and at their own 9. So this is like their first chance to actually get somewhere, and they don't.
They don't do dick.
Nothing.
Well, Brady took a shot to Patton,
right?
That probably should have been picked off.
Yeah.
But that was on third down, but there was a defensive holding call on it, so they got another chance, and then
didn't do dick
with that as well. They punted. I don't know if you noticed, but this was the combined tackle on the punt. It was actually a great tackle too. It pinned the Rams deep, but to start the Rams starting deep was tackled by Mike Vrabel and also our friend Matt Chatham.
On that next
on coverage.
I would only notice this as we talked to him, but when he's talking about how Brian Cox was like, I'm playing on 1 foot,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, yeah, I can't cover. And then like literally it was like Cox on coverage. Yeah, it's some weird stuff where he's like he goes out into like the cornerback spot on.
Yeah,
coverage.
He was out covering somebody out past the numbers. Like outside
and then it was like a Falk run, and he almost like chased him down from behind. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, he was in there for more plays than I remember because I was keeping an eye out for him too, and he was in there for a lot of like short running plays, and he made some tackles.
But it's like those things like that play would not have registered at all for me without that sort of knowledge.
Oh yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to do this because you're able to watch these games in a different light because I thought that I would be cooler headed watching these games, and I think in some spots I am, and I'm recognizing things like that. But I don't know about you boys, but I'm still like tensing up during something. It's almost like
I'm not
like a physical reaction.
I'll be honest with you, Andy. I'm not.
Really? Well,
you know what happens, dude.
I know, but it's still like I can't help myself doing it. Like every time the Rams got the ball and they got the ball into Falk's hands, like my whole body would kind of tense, like tackle him. And even though I know how this goes and I've seen this play before.
Is that you, Steve?
I'm with Andy. Yeah.
Really?
I've been getting worked up on these games for sure.
I can't help myself.
And then even some of the other games we've done early this season, like I don't remember them at all.
Yeah.
So it's like watching a brand new game for me. It's great.
Yeah, I thought that too, and I thought it would kind of like tone down as I start remembering these games more and more, but it hasn't. I don't know why.
Well, these ones are
like
just
a physical reaction.
Yeah, and there are parts of them I don't remember too.
Well, let's talk about the part we do remember. Greg Brown, do you want to walk us through this?
Yeah, well, you mean the greatest play in Patriots history? Possibly the greatest, like 10 seconds of my life up to that point.
I would say so.
There's no possible about that.
Yeah. So obviously we're talking about the Ty Law pick 6. They're down 3-0, right, at the time?
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah.
Maybe like anything.
Yeah, halfway through the second quarter. And actually looking back, it was very similar to the Hightower sack strip against Atlanta.
I thought that too, yeah.
Where you just saw Vrabel coming off the side and you're like, dude, no one touched him.
And you just saw him coming.
Yeah. And then Warner just kind of floats one up there and Ty catches it in stride and does the infamous like hand up as he's crossing and then like the dusting of the ground celebration.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't done about
absolutely iconic.
Correct.
I used to do that after every good thing I did.
I could see you making the bed.
Takes the trash out
of the room. And he's dusting the floor.
Dude, I once did that after intercourse with Kelly, and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like I was doing it to be funny, but she didn't get the joke. Because remember the shrine I used to have?
Yeah.
Well, there was like a tie law corner of the shrine.
Of course there was.
And we just we did it in there because it was funny to do. And then after I started like doing the dance and doing the floor, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my god.
I was like, "You wouldn't understand."
Does she understand now?
Yeah, no, she gets it now. I show it.
A better question: does she listen to this podcast?
Probably not.
Lucky for you.
So yeah, that was a big part of my childhood. That play, you
Sounds
know,
like it still is.
It's still a big part, clearly.
yeah, being a Ty Law fan, and for him to get a pick six in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you know, on the biggest stage, it was, and then he was so swaggy about it too. That it was like, because that's what you loved about Ty Law, was that confidence, and it was pretty special.
Huge momentum play.
Yeah.
But I do have a note here. That's a personal foul these days.
That's true.
Yeah,
The hit
He
on
got him in the head. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
cool.
Yeah,
They
like
wouldn't
forearm
call
to
that.
the face. That right tackle just totally blew it too. I forget who it was. And then he goes out for the rest.
I think it was just, well, that was the right tackle who was their backup because their original one got hurt earlier. in the
No,
game.
this was his last play, they said. This is his last
Oh, that's
snap.
right. Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
But like,
And,
if you watch the replays, you can see him turn inside, and then he turns and looks at him going, crushing the quarterback, and he like claps his hands together, like, ah, shit, fuck that one up.
Yeah. Been there before.
Bear with me. I'm looking something up real quick.
And then Pat Summerall was like, interception, return for a touchdown, Ty Law.
I
Dude,
was like-
Jesus, Pat.
My notes go,
Oh.
6 celebration. Pat Summerall, on the other hand, fucking blows.
Yeah. It's like, fucking wake up, dude.
Yeah.
There's a game
Oh,
going on.
man.
If you don't get hyped for a pick six in a Super Bowl, like, what are you
Right?
doing? You know?
That was the second ever pick six in a Super Bowl.
Ooh, is the first one something we'd know?
Maybe. It happened the year before.
Oh.
That's the Ravens Giants Super Bowl. I don't really remember that too much.
It is.
Yeah, me either.
Correct.
Oh, it was the 1 year after, too, right? Because that dude from the Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he
Dexter,
win it?
whatever. Yeah, he
Yeah.
won MVP.
They were 3 the year after.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So it was Kerry Collins got picked 6 by Dwayne Starks. I vaguely remember. And then the year after, Rich Gannon threw 3 interceptions that were 2 by Dwight Smith and 1 by Derek Brooks.
Wait, who won the MVP on the Bucks that year?
It's got to be Dwight, right?
You would
I
think it'd be
thought it
Dwight
was
Smith.
Dexter McCluster or something like that, but all right.
Does it tell us? Where would I look? It seems on Pro Football Reference. I'm not seeing it.
Super Bowl MVP 03.
Dude,
Jackson.
Baltimore won the Super Bowl the year before against the
Yeah.
Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of that.
It was like the most boring game of all time.
That was the one where they had that historic defense.
Yeah. Trent Dilfer.
That's the one that everybody
Oh,
puts up as the worst quarterback ever.
is Ed Reed around? He's not, right?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Ray Lewis was, though,
I
yeah.
think that was his
Yeah,
Lewis's
yeah.
rookie year, maybe.
Oh, is this like Brian Bulaware era? Is that his name?
No, you think of Kyle Bowler.
No, Bulaware, the linebacker.
Oh, yeah. I think that makes sense.
Okay. Rod Woodson, right? That's what Rod Woodson era.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least we finally got an exciting Super Bowl after that snooze fest here.
Steve was right though. Dexter Jackson, the safety, was the MVP of Super Bowl
Yeah.
37. Fuck is Dexter Jackson, and why was
Oh.
he the MVP?
I think maybe you screwed up your first 3 pick sixes in a Super Bowl.
No, it's true.
And a guy who had 2 of them didn't win the MVP.
This is correct. I mean, Dexter Jackson
Maybe.
also had 2 interceptions.
Steve,
Like-
can you stat check Andy's stat check?
What do you think the odds were for Dexter Jackson Super Bowl MVP?
Oh,
Outrageous.
Outrageous. I can't think of another like safety. Maybe I think a defensive player won the Ravens one as well, but like not since then.
he'll just fall into the category other.
Yeah, Ray Lewis
You know?
no one.
They don't even put up numbers on those dudes.
Yeah, no, they don't. Yeah, you got to call to get odds.
All right, so Pat's up 7-3 now.
Yep.
Things are looking good. This is how we wanted it to go.
Yeah, and the defense in this quarter was
just shit stomping.
I don't know. I thought they were getting chunk plays, but we were making some solid ones.
Not easily, because after that, Brewski basically just stonewalled Falk on a 2nd and 1, like 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Just absolutely just
perfect
manhandling
form tackle
from getting it. And then the next play, Lawyer Malloy almost got his own pick.
Yeah, but they also on that drive had that fumbled snap that they turned into like 15 yards.
Oh yeah, Kurt Warner was cool, calm, and collected. He just
I had another
drops
one here.
The snap, picks it up. Everybody, like the entire offense and defensive line, just stopped. And then, like he had all the time in the world, just completed the pass. No problem.
I wonder if anyone's ever tried to fake that.
It's Fumblerooski.
Ballsy thing to do.
What do you think? That's
fumble snap?
Yeah.
To fake a fumbled snap.
Well, you just have the center keep it and go. That's what the Fumblerooski is, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not like a fumble. Like you're not putting the ball in there, are you?
Well, I think didn't they change the rules where you actually have to like exchange possession?
I think
so. People
yeah.
couldn't do that.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. It makes sense.
So then they punted away. Troy Brown calls fair catch with like nobody within 15 yards of him.
What
a bomb. What a
He
bomb.
was so bummed. He would make up for it later.
Then I got it like a football or not football. I wasn't quite sure.
Oh, okay.
I know if this has to be the one I'm thinking of too.
They said, I think it was John Madden. He said, throw a guy a bone, and then you throw him 2 bones in a row.
It's actually not the one I was thinking.
No, not the one I was thinking of either.
Andy, you have to have the one I have written down. I'll say it.
All right, you say it.
When he said, what do you think Ty Law thinks when he sees 270 pounds of meat coming at him?
I had something else, actually.
What?
Yeah.
I heard that, and I was like, there's no way anybody missed that.
That was I don't even know his name because they were talking about the Rams fullback. And man goes, his nickname is Meat. And
yeah.
I've never heard anybody more excited about a nickname.
Yeah, that was the same play.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a great
That's what
nickname.
they're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, Madden was talking about, I don't even remember the situation. I don't think something to do with having his fingers moving under there or something like that. I think it had to do with Kurt Warner getting his thumb hurt. It's like, oh, when you have your fingers under there, things can happen. I thought, oh, fuck.
Yep. But to answer his question, I bet Ty Law was thinking, well, that's not going to fit. I'd written that down too.
I don't know. I think Ty Law has enough swag to think that it would fit. Yeah, I can make this work.
Yeah, I can handle it. 270 pounds of meat, no problem.
He did make the tackle too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Solid.
Meat. That's an old school football name.
It's such a nickname for a fucking fullback.
Mm-hmm.
If your fullback's not named Meat.
So then we got stalled out with the Brady on that stunt sack, which he had no chance on. Punt it back. They're in like their 2-minute drill, if I remember right.
Yeah, because this is getting towards the end of the second quarter. So they start moving the ball a bit, and then Warner hits Ricky Proehl, who he is obviously the guy who made the comment about tonight a dynasty is born. That's him.
People were talking about it.
What?
Them being a dynasty.
I know, but he's the one before the game even starts, turns to the camera, goes, tonight a dynasty is born.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then like every time he catch a ball, he would fucking celebrate a whole lot for the fucking 4th-string wide receiver. I thought.
Oh, it sounds like Andy doesn't like Ricky Proehl.
Well, I'd always thought that I hated Ricky Proehl because he killed us in this game, and rewatching it, I'm like, no. I must have been thinking about Hakeem because he killed us in this game.
No, you were thinking Ricky Proehl because he scored the game-tying touchdown. That's how I
think that's it. And maybe it was the Carolina game too. I remember him pretty good in there. But
so
either way, he definitely hates the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I think we'll get to that later because I think he does score against the Patriots in the Super Bowl when he's with the Panthers as well.
But in this quarter, he fumbled the fucking ball like a joke.
Yeah, he did. Fumbled it because of
Our boy Antoine.
Antoine Harris, baby.
Yep, shout out.
The most underrated MVP candidate on this team.
He's made a couple big plays lately. He's a lot better than Terrence Shaw. That's for sure.
Back-to-back weeks. Well, yeah.
Who got injured, right? Didn't Shaw get injured on that Roman Pfeiffer hit in the first quarter?
Oh, the friendly
fire was out there.
Somebody, I don't remember who it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Shaw.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But they're only playing all these guys because they're going with that 5 DB.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's a stat here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So the Patriots defense tonight, this is halfway through the third quarter. How many times they've played different amounts of defensive backs on the field? So your normal 4 defensive backs, 2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties. They did that 12 times. 5 defensive backs, which is a nickel, 10 times. 6 defensive backs, which is a dime, which you don't see very often. They've done that 15 times. And they've even rolled out 7 defensive backs 3 times halfway through the third quarter. Like, that was obviously their game plan, was just put nothing but pass defenders out there, and then as soon as somebody catches the ball, fucking light them up. And it worked.
And they were so tight in the line everywhere. They're jamming them every single time.
Oh, yeah. But there was one play where I saw it was a screen play to the tight end or something, but Marshall Faulk was lined up in the backfield and he ran kind of like an out. And Willie McGinnis, you could tell his assignment was Marshall Faulk. So he saw Marshall Faulk going out and he just ran straight at him to the point where the left tackle went out to go block him and realized he couldn't because Willie McGinnis was running away from him. And Willie McGinnis, probably 10 yards in the backfield, just lit the fuck into Marshall Faulk and knocked him 10 yards back and then came back to me.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that was the game plan. But and it worked all the way through. But it was you could just see immediately. He just made a beeline straight to Marshall Faulk, knocked his ass over, and then came back to make the play. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And I think it's part of the reason this is a 14-point spread, but that turf makes a huge difference.
It does.
Obviously it's part of their team nickname, for God's sake. So
right.
That this team is built. Yeah, this team is built to play on this surface. And the Patriots are coming off 2 wins to get there that are slugfest. So you can kind of understand where that spread came from.
Oh yeah. Especially since when they played in the Patriots in Foxborough on the non-turf, and they still put up. Look sloppy doing it, but they still pulled away at the end, no problem.
I did notice that everybody was bleeding though, probably from falling on that turf.
Oh yeah. Did you ever play on that stuff?
No.
I played indoor on it, indoor soccer for a while back in the day.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
It was just a thin layer of carpet with covering concrete.
It's green carpet on concrete. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah,
the stuff they got now is great though. Little rubber pellets.
It's a lot better. Although you find rubber pellets in places you didn't even know you had 3 days later.
But from a visual standpoint, the turf is pretty cool.
That neon green turf. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Pats field doesn't look great on TV now at Gillette, but the colors were popping in this game.
Yeah. That's true.
The blue jerseys on the green grass, quote unquote grass.
Dude, imagine if the Rams had their old school, yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah,
it's or even the Patriots red.
Oh yeah.
Versus now we're talking.
Yeah. That
Anybody else got an erection?
Yeah, that sound you heard was me unzipping my pants.
So I wear sweatpants to these.
Who wears pants?
It's true.
I gotta know where to go.
I'll do it. Also, I went down the LA Kiss rabbit hole. I found the most disgusting pair of sweatpants ever.
For sale?
Yeah. It's just a full-size Gene Simmons face.
The fuck is
Oh yeah, I just did it. Well, I got the Kiss where their faces are right above your dick.
Oh yeah, they have some of the tackiest shit ever. I heard a animal moaning Was that you?
Oh, that was my stomach.
Oh, really? That's not true.
Yes, it was.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Stevie getting hungry.
Right.
I
So
gotta
I have to
poop.
do this before dinner.
It's all the poo brewing.
Oh, good. All right, let's move this along a bit. I think.
Yeah, we'll cut this part out.
So that first, once they get that ball back from Ricky Proehl, dropping on the ground like a loser. That first like Troy bubble screen.
Yeah.
I thought again, this is where I was like, John Madden's sweet. He's talking about his first step quickness and like what makes him a good screen receiver, makes him a great punt returner. And
Yep.
again, I was like, man, John Madden knows his stuff.
Yeah.
But
No,
that was a
he
huge play
really
there.
helped it. It was massive. But I thought an even bigger play. This is gonna be I think it's 3rd and 1, and the Patriots like just outside field goal range. And Kevin Falk takes like the toss sweep out of the shotgun around left tackle. And the left tackle is the guy that Matt Light got injured, and this guy had just come in for this drive. And I don't even recognize his name.
Yeah, me neither. Williams. Something Williams.
Yes. Yeah, something Williams. And he pulled out and he blocked 2 guys on that one play and sprung Falk not only for the first down, but he was able to get out of bounds.
And get down like a 5, yeah.
Yeah, and then like 2 plays later, the Brady to Patton touchdown in the corner there. Shades of the week before, Bledsoe to Patton in that back corner, falling away.
My best was like in like the live broadcast that's on YouTube, they had like a different camera angle for that.
Oh, they did, yeah. They like from the corner
straight
of
on the line of scrimmage, like usual. It was from like the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
And it was like set up perfectly to watch like Brady's throw to him.
Oh, yeah, it was the perfect angle for that play call. You're absolutely right.
I don't know. You see it from the replays, you think it puts a lot more air under it, but it wasn't. It was kind of a bullet.
Oh, yeah, he hucked it in there.
That was a tough catch, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a better
was.
catch than it was a throw.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it was an awesome route. Like
Oh, yeah.
Out and up from the 5-yard line.
Gave him those wiggle hips, you know? See you later.
Brady pumped it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that out and up. Fake the out, get the guy to bite, and then get behind him. Perfect.
Yep. David Patton's only catch of the game.
Oh, shit,
Really?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Patton had another play, but it wasn't.
That's true. He had that reverse.
Yeah. Tom Brady out front lead, quote unquote, blocking. But he did that like dance his way through the
Getting in the
through the fray. Not great, Tom. Not great.
They had a stat where this is the Rams' first time trailing by more than 8 points all year.
Yeah, they had
that
a
was
few
crazy.
stats at the end of this, at the end of the half. One was that was Tom Brady's first touchdown pass in the last 83 attempts.
A bum.
Not great, but timely. Yeah, this is the first time that the Rams have trailed by more than 8 points this season at all. And then right on the ensuing kickoff for this, it was the biggest Super Bowl fact. The biggest halftime deficit overcome is 7 points.
Oh yeah, they loved the
We're
overcoming
now
stuff.
14-3, which is great and kind of sets the table for year 20 of this podcast. But
Well, also that fumble is huge. Like, I don't think people really talk about that play much. The Antoine Harris fumble, but I mean,
massive
14-3. If the Rams go down and score there, I mean, you're talking about being down at half. This is a whole different.
Yep, haven't
But
done
Versus
nothing.
it's still 7-3 and it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
Now you're 2 scores down.
For 14-3, you go into that locker room thinking we can win this fucking thing, you know?
Yeah. And especially since the Patriots getting the ball back, like to be able to do that, like score and then get the ball back and try again. Like that's it's a whole momentum.
And even like, I don't know, the offense hadn't done anything. And even this whole game, the offense doesn't really do much until the last drive.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Every
this
single
whole
point
season.
they had.
Yeah, whole season. Never mind this game. I can't think of a game this season where I've been like, wow, this offense is a wagon.
The only one was the
Didn't watch it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
No
Greg
shit.
didn't watch any of the games. They've been a wagon at all.
Based on what you guys have been telling me.
No, Brady looked good in the game again, and he rallied him down from a lot. And they basically said, "Fucking go sling it," and he threw it like 50-something times. So
Sling it, Tommy.
yeah, exactly. It's just one of those like typical games. But speaking of underrated plays in this game, I thought the ensuing kickoff was huge.
Yeah, I have that note too.
30 seconds left in the half still, and it's the Rams, and we've seen them do this to the Patriots last time they played, where they right before the half just went down and completed plays of like at least 20 yards, a bunch of them, and I think they either kicked a field goal or scored a touchdown like right before the half. Typical what you see the Patriots do these days.
Right.
But Vinatieri, and they actually sent Marshall Faulk back to return the kick too, instead of Yo Murphy. And Vinatieri kicks it away from Faulk, like right on the sideline, so that when Faulk catches it, his momentum takes him out of bounds at the 6.
Which you could have just let it bounce, and it probably going out of bounds.
Exactly. It was a super ballsy kick to do in a fucking Super Bowl. Because if he lets that bounce out of bounds, the Rams get the ball at the 40, and it could be a completely different thing. It's now 30 seconds left instead of being at your own 6, and they just take a knee and go in a half. So 2 plays changed this whole shape of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think Marshall Faulk was comfortable doing that.
No, I don't think he returns kicks very often. I think it's just
know what? Someone needs to tell Mike Martz, do your job.
And Yo Murphy was good. He was a good return guy. He had that 40-yard return to open the game, and I thought he actually provided him a pretty good spark.
And that's the whole theory behind it all, is right? Is like, don't change things just because this is an important game. Just do your job. And Mike Martz is going, oh God, we need to do something here.
We're down 14-3. We need a spark.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Just do your job.
You want to hear a quote from John Madden?
Yeah.
This Patriots defense has done their job.
Yeah. Why did you write that down?
Because it would be a fucking quote later on from Bill Belichick.
Okay. All right. I thought you were just writing down everything you heard.
For the next like 20 fucking years. That's his.
How many pages you got over there, Andy?
I know notes. I have 4 pages, and then I have all the screenshots, so it turns out to be 12.
I know you send us your show notes. I never read them.
I never read them either.
I don't even know.
I take my own notes. I have 2.5 pages.
I have a half a page on Kurt Warner and then nothing else.
And you didn't watch the game, and somehow you're contributing. God damn it,
Rain Man.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a good job you're good at this.
It's the only thing I am good at.
Yeah, that's where
we had our own little spark on the second half kickoff. Patrick Pass.
Hell yeah, returning that kickoff to the 30.
Yeah, well, he was like dead to rights in the 15.
Yeah, you just squirted out.
Yeah. That's something I've learned this year, like this season. He was a better kick returner than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
And he's a fullback too, right? Technically?
No. Was he? I thought he was a halfback.
I think he was a running back, yeah, but he was big. He was built like a brick shithouse.
Is that what a halfback is? Somewhere between a running back and a fullback?
I think halfback was just originally
a running back.
Yeah, it was that position, like back in the.
Which never made sense. Why?
I just invented a fucking perfect description, didn't I?
Love it.
Sure.
He's somewhere between a fullback and a running back, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Pass, halfback.
Why don't you call him a halfback?
He's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback.
Oh, I see what you did there, Steve. Yo, your mom's so dumb, she thought a quarterback was a refund.
Cool.
God damn.
That was my go-to joke when I was a kid.
Yeah, shocking.
It doesn't really work when I say it to my brothers, but, you know. You get the point.
Luckily, we know Mom doesn't listen to this, even though we've been shouting around every fucking episode.
Then they come out with a ton of Antoine. This is some of his best friends of the game here.
Yeah, and then I thought they were going for the dagger because Brady tried to hit Patton deep, and Patton had like 2 steps on the guy, and Brady just missed him.
Yeah, Madden called it too. Called that play,
yes.
like Tony Romo.
Yeah,
he did.
This is the time where you take a shot, and that's exactly what happened. And
I don't know,
I
I
think
feel
if
like it
Brady
killed the
hits
momentum,
Patton
though.
there and scores a touchdown, this game's over as a
I
contest.
feel like it killed the momentum. I feel like they could have just kept grinding it with David Patton.
Fuck was that?
Mom's trying to video me.
She knows.
She
You should have
knows.
been on the damn podcast, bud.
Yeah.
What are you doing? She won't come on any other way,
Answer it.
Oh, I
right?
declined it. I can video her if you want.
You
do it.
decline, Mom. I just let her go to voicemail.
Yeah, get her on the podcast.
Yeah.
Mom.
Oh God, we do this every time, don't we?
Mom.
Mom.
What the
Oh, she can't figure out the phone.
can't figure out technology. That's a shocker.
I can't hear you very well. Oh, you're in the middle of. Oh, you're doing your thing.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh my goodness, you're in the middle of it.
Yeah, we were just
Yes.
talking about you, Mom.
So are you, Mom?
You're in the middle of it too now.
We were just talking about how you never listen to us because you don't care. You keep saying you will, Mom. You keep saying you will.
She'll figure out podcasts in the next 20 years.
It'll be weird.
This is riveting radio.
Thanks, Bob.
I love you, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
That's great.
God damn.
Finally got her on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
4 months.
How often do you call your mother, Steve?
Never. She calls him all the time.
Once every 10 days, maybe.
Oh, she calls me like every 3 days and complains about you. So
That's
I
cool.
She
figured it
calls
was
me
more
every
free.
day and complains about you,
Nope.
Greg.
She was just calling me to tell me how much of a good boy I am. That's a direct quote.
That's funny.
Well, all right.
All right, where were we? Antoine Smith just pounding the rock.
Yeah.
But I feel like they killed the momentum by taking that shot there.
I don't know. I
think
kind of
they're going
liked.
for the dagger, though.
Yeah, I liked his rationale. What's his name?
John Madden.
John Madden. You know, you're already up. They're expecting you to ground and pound. You're in good field
Like, the
position.
grounding
Take
and
a shot.
pounding was working.
Yeah,
So they
but then
Take a
if,
shot.
They
If
do
he
like a
hits
draw
that-
play to J.R. Edmond that loses 3 yards. Now it's 3rd and 13, and they're not even in field goal range, and they end up punting it away.
yeah, but if he hits that, that was open. It was the right
Yeah.
play call.
Definitely.
They
Yeah.
just didn't
Brady
execute.
just missed it.
Yeah. Brady
Like
Sneaky
overthrew
has been bad at the deep ball this season.
Yeah.
He
I
got
agree,
way
yeah.
better at that than
Yeah, even only a couple seasons later, we'll see
Yeah.
again in Pittsburgh.
Well, I think you guys crucified me on the Brady emergency episode by saying he was never a great deep ball thrower.
that's true.
Becomes a great deep ball thrower.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's has never been the strength. I thought he becomes decent and pretty good, but that was never his game.
You fucking listen here, Steve. How dare you?
Tyler, complete zone coverage.
We have another Chatham sighting right after this.
Yes. Not one of his better things.
No.
Because he only gets called for fair catch interference and pleads voraciously with the referee.
He didn't. It was
He did.
very, very close, though.
It was real close to that not being a didn't, but yeah, he got away with it. So the Rams started their own 15 instead of further down the field than that. And this is where Warner just starts taking shots. Like they were still driving the ball, but I think they made it to about midfield, and then he took 3 real shots in a row.
Yeah, Big Rich got him real good on one.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one where he just tossed the guard aside like he wasn't
Yep.
there.
Then, the next play, Pfeiffer does that delayed safety blitz and just absolutely blows him up again.
So,
He's a tough son of a bitch, Warner.
He really is, yeah.
oh yeah, he was just standing there taking it the whole time. He was bleeding from the chin, all sorts of shit. But
I like
still,
Warner.
fucking it.
Yeah, I liked him too.
I want him to be the new Monday night guy.
That'd be
He does,
interesting.
he does the radio
Oh, does he?
for Monday night. Yeah. He's pretty good.
I bet he'd be good at that. Yeah.
He's certainly
Quarterbacks, I
better
feel like,
than
just have a good grasp of how the game works.
dude, or Brett Favre.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, he's a good old boy. You can't tell me Brett Favre isn't charismatic.
That's probably true.
Everybody loves Brett Favre.
Yeah, but he's going to ad-lib the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, he would.
He's gonna get a bunch of shit wrong too, but he also got a bunch of shit right. Good gunslinger.
Yeah, how many times a game he's going to use gunslinger?
Oh, he just shows up in
him
it.
calling a Patrick Mahomes game.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
he's not. He doesn't wear a suit. He just comes in his blue jeans.
The blue jean tuxedo.
Canadian tuxedo, Andy.
Yeah, whatever. Denim tuxedo. Call it what the fuck you want, Steve. We don't tuxedo shame here.
That's true.
They're beating up on the wide receivers, too. There's that one play, like, it was weird. Like, I guess it was part of their thing, but, like, the wide receivers had hit the ground before they got tackled.
Yeah. And Madden even called that out. He's like, they do this thing where they get as far as they can, then they just fall over. Like, it's
And
really
then
smart 'cause they
Isaac
don't get
Bruce
hit.
does it. Malloy just blows him up instead of, like, tapping him down.
I wrote that day. Yeah, it wasn't like, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal now, too.
Yeah. And then
But it probably was legal then, but it was the Super Bowl, so you don't call
Malloy does, like, the ass smack. It's like, I'm sorry. And Isaac Bruce just whips his ass in
Smacks
return.
him right back, yeah.
Show's
Yeah,
funny.
that was great.
But that's the whole thing. Like, I think they're getting in their heads by just being, like, overtly physical with the receivers.
And I think it was getting in Warner's head too, because all the timing's thrown off, and he was running for his life at this point.
I mean, he had time a bunch, too, but he couldn't find people open. So it wasn't
Exactly,
like I think that timing was really thrown off.
yeah. And then the rush would eventually get to him, and then he was
Mhm.
hanging in there as long as he could to, like, so hopefully somebody would get open, and he would just start taking shots.
You got to think, like, those corners that they're just flooding the field with all played pretty well.
They
It's a
did,
tough ask. That's probably why Hakeem did so well, is you're asking Wheatley and Shaw and our boy to try and cover him.
Well, that's always been the Patriots' defensive game plan, is take away your best options and have you beat them with your third guy, right?
But I mean, the third guy is awesome on this team too.
It's true, yeah. I mean, you could even make a case for Ricky Proehl, as much as I hate him.
Dude.
He's a good wide receiver.
Trung candidate had like 8 touchdowns.
Right, yeah.
I read your notes, Andy.
Just now.
I read them. I was just giving you a hard time. I read them sometimes, but not
If
often.
you read him, you'd know you had 6 touchdowns, but that's okay.
6? That's still a lot for a backup running back.
Yeah.
And he something about him being like a Kiefer Sutherland character.
Yeah, his name sounds like a bad Fox TV drama.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland.
That made me laugh.
Strong candidate.
The drunk candidate, Tuesday nights at 9.
Chung, chung, chung.
Yeah.
Only on Fox.
Yeah. So yeah, this team is just a wagon, right? You have to have a perfect game. Not only, I mean, you see the game plan, and I bet it's not that crazy to think of, right? Get physical with them. A lot of teams probably thought that, but this is like
I think the 7
perfect execution, right? You
slightly
get
different,
you get opportunistic turnovers. You scored points on defense. You're hitting them at every opportunity. I mean, they're still gaining a decent amount of yards, but
They were.
you've held them to 3 points through 3 quarters. It's
Yeah.
about as good as you can ask for.
It
You can
really
run the
is.
ball,
Yeah.
turn the clock a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, like Chatham said, if they hadn't played him early in their year, I bet they lose this game.
Yeah.
Mhm. I said that too. In that game, I said it was the most important loss of the Patriots dynasty. And I was laughed out of the room by Greg and Mike.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I just disagree with anything you say.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed. That hasn't been going on for fucking 30 years.
I'm just testing you to see how strong your convictions are, Andy. That's all.
Uh-huh.
Like any good brother would do.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of testing convictions, the next Rams drive, Kurt Warner is picked off again by OTIS.
Otis.
I had
Otis.
forgotten about this interception, to be honest.
I always forget about this one. Every time I
He's a stud.
This is like the sleepy turnover, like everyone remembers the Ricky Proehl fumble and obviously the Ty Law pick 6.
Mm-hmm.
But without this, Patriots are driving to tie the game, and not to win it.
Right. Yeah. Because this turns into, well, this was the the direct snap to Falk that
Yeah.
completely fooled Summerall. But even before that, the play before that, or two plays before that, they tried a running back pass with Kevin Falk, which I had completely forgotten about. Didn't remember this play at all. And Falk, the pressure was so great that he just had to like pull it down and eat it
It's smart.
and get the pass off.
Yeah, well, he's covered anyways. Did you see that angle?
No.
Oh, yeah. The guy was like stride for stride with the receiver.
And then whoever that defensive end is, what was his name? He blew his block up and was right on Falk too.
Yeah, what was his name, Greg?
Dude, spacing too.
Yeah, you're the one that brought him up earlier as well.
Windstrom.
Yes,
Right.
yes, Winstrom.
Yeah, he blew that play up as well.
But yeah, it leads to a Vinatieri field goal. So now we're at 17-3 going into the fourth quarter. So yeah, without that, the Rams scored 2 touchdowns to be down, which is exactly what happened. But I mean, I don't know if there are any more things to talk about in the third quarter to do best and worst, unless you guys have something.
I blew all my best with Pat Summerall getting foiled by that direct snap.
I know, that was my favorite.
That
Everybody's best. And the
Hardy
worst,
chuck.
the running back.
Yeah, let's jump into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, because this is where it gets good.
Well, the Rams start kind of figuring it out.
Well, yeah, all right, so good. I mean, it ends good, but it starts.
Does it?
Well, it starts really good because
Really
the
good.
Rams drive all the way down, and they're going for it on 4th and goal from the 3.
Oh,
Even before that, dude, he almost threw 2 picks back-to-back plays.
Back
Lawyer
to
almost
back.
had a pick that he didn't
Yep,
see
Malloy
Lawyer
almost had
at
it.
all.
Oh,
Ty almost had a pick.
yeah, on the third down, they
Oh,
try to fade, and Ty Law the only one got his hands on it, and then
surprised they
on 4th
went
down,
for it.
You kind of had to at this point.
Yeah, I guess.
it was like,
Down
what,
2
10 minutes
touchdowns.
left or so? It was kind of early.
Yeah, it was right at the beginning of the quarter, but you're down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
No,
10
I
and
think
a half.
In this day and age, you probably kick the field goal because there's a lot more scoring. But I think back then, might have been a different calculation.
That's true.
Maybe, but there's also a lot of scoring on both ends, so I think you go. Yeah, but fourth and goal from the 3. Warner drops back to pass. Nobody's open, mainly because Willie McGinnis has form tackled Marshall Faulk coming out of the backfield.
Within 5 yards.
Oh,
yeah,
God, here we go.
it's 5
Steve.
yards. It was 5 yards behind.
Here we go.
Can't actually tackle him, I don't think.
He
Welcome
didn't
to the
take it to the ground.
spins. Dude, he
Tried.
fucking mauled him.
Yeah, he
tried.
balled him, but he's within 5 yards. You can do whatever you
Dude,
want. John Madden
get
called
outta
that out
here.
earlier in
You
the.
can't hold people, though, Steve. You can make
Yeah.
contact. You can't hold them.
They didn't call holding.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, they
I
called
thought it was like
holding.
PI or something.
No, holding.
But the result of the play is Warner scrambles, tries to dive for the touchdown.
If you want to
Gets
call it
ball knocked
scrambles.
loose.
Yeah, it
How
looks like Brady out
slow
there.
was
Yeah.
slow was Warner?
Who's faster, Brady or Warner?
Oh, Jesus. Who's faster, Brady, Warner, or Greg Brown?
Oh, I'm faster.
Well, I don't know.
Without a doubt.
We keep trying to get a guy at work to do a 40-yard dash to see if he can beat Brady's combine time.
You should make him do the triple jump. Like
We can do the shuttle.
He's
The
not.
The Patriots only care about the 3 cone anyway.
if you want to make a non-athletic person look really non-athletic, make them do the triple jump.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like the least intuitive athletic thing ever. So you just look like a fucking idiot.
Maybe we should have combine stats.
I'll
Three
do
of
it.
us. We'll see if we can figure that out.
We'll do it. We're in North Carolina this summer.
Yeah, maybe the next time we're all together. That would
But
be
that's bullshit-ass flag. Should have been touchdown. Should have been game over.
So yeah, so Tabaki
No.
picks up the fumble at the 1 yard line, at the goal line, and runs it all the way back for a touchdown. It would have been 24-3, and then the game again is over.
Yeah, 10 minutes
But
left.
instead, huge swing, 14-point swing. Rams get the ball back and a first down at basically the 1 yard line. 2 plays later, Kurt Warner, QB sneak, goosed him, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Goosed the center and just ran straight up the middle, scores a touchdown, and now it's a little bit close.
And Pat Summerall's like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was a touchdown for like 5 seconds.
Which definitely let John Madden go on about goosing. And then this is where the Patriots offense, they go 3 and out pretty much every drive.
I feel like that always happens, right? We're like, I don't know. the play calling gets super conservative, and they just try to grind clock, and they just go 3 rounds and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Not just with the Patriots, but just in general, I feel like.
Yeah, in football.
It's momentum, baby.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, once your B-hole starts clenching.
Yep. You start getting conservative in the play calling, and you start getting conservative in just like how you're running the plays.
Even like execution, right? You're like,
you just kind of tighten up.
You don't want to make the play that blows it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Pats D kept playing pretty well, though.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Well, playing defensively is pretty instinctual, right? You just like run around. But if you're tight window here, do I just let it rip or do I check down? You know?
Right. Yeah. And so in this game, this is where Brady would be checking down.
Yeah.
Well, until the last drive, he would. Yeah.
Yeah. But at that point, you're tie game. You're not trying to contain that lead. You're just seeing what you can do on this last drive, and then whatever happens, happens. But
there's still that thing that Greg just said, where you don't want to make that fatal mistake either. And that was John Madden's point of taking a knee, because you don't want to make that fatal mistake.
That's true. They didn't.
Nope.
And
yeah, because that's what I would have
been. They had a conversation with Brady, being like we're going out, we're going to fucking sling it.
But if like Otis hadn't made that pick and they hadn't got that 3 points, right?
Yeah.
Then of course Brady's going to sling it. But it's even more impressive that he's slinging it to win it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, back to your point, I think the defense does do a decent job in this, but you can tell they're getting gassed.
Well, dude, they like blew Kurt up again.
Yeah, because they Patriots go 3 now, they punt, and the Rams I think had a holding call and moved them back to their own 7. So they literally started their 7-yard line drive down the field, but not in like a typical Rams way, where they're just like where Warner has a bunch of time, he's standing back there just picking you apart. Like he was running for his life, completing passes like you were kind of half expecting him to be like shovel passing it left-handed, but still managed to drive almost within field goal range. So we're getting kind of close until Willie McGinnis comes out and puts a stop to the drive with a huge sack.
Huge sack.
Forcing the Rams to punt. Patriots get the ball.
Willie's celebration there too. You could tell was exhausted defensive player.
He just laying on his back,
thank fucking God,
at the ceiling. Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, he knew that was getting them off the field and getting them
exactly.
Worse.
Yep.
It wasn't much. Pats get the ball at their own 20 with 3.5 left, and basically, I thought they were going to run 3 running plays, but they didn't.
And then they like burned a stupid timeout too.
Oh yeah. Like by this point, neither team had any timeouts left.
Yeah,
which was baffling to me. They're just using them like whenever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
There was some stat where the Rams led the league in delay of game penalty for such what you would expect to be a well-oiled machine. You wouldn't expect them to have that many delay of game calls, but it did feel like a little disjointed all the way through. But the punt was probably Ken Walter's worst punt of the season. Can we say?
An absolutely awful punt.
I think they said it went 30 yards.
And then they cut to Brad Seeley, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" I don't know, the refs or to Lee, like both, because that was the wide-eyed holding call
on the Patriots. But
I mean, they had to. Would they re-kick it or not? Right?
I think nowadays you can just take that 5 yards
and tack it on.
Yeah. But I don't think you can do that. Well, the Rams start at their own 45, which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And then I'm just gonna say now. What?
Minute 51 left.
Yeah, because the Pats managed to run it down to.
Yeah.
So they have the ball at their own 45. A couple of plays later, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Illegal offensive pass interference on this play was a pick play.
Of course you are. Are you guys kidding me?
They called it a little pick.
Dude, it's only
Madden
a pick.
even called it a pick.
It's only a pick. It's a rub.
That was a rub.
You're telling, dude, you mean to tell me if the Patriots ran that play on offense, you'd be saying the same thing?
Yeah. I'd still be celebrating the touchdown because it didn't get called, but I'd be like,
it's only a pick if they like actively get in the way of the player.
He did. He ran and grabbed it.
Cleared him out so much.
No,
it was blatant.
Ricky Proehl was all alone. So much so that
because it was a bad play by Terrence Shaw.
It was, but it was still an illegal pick play.
No, I can't even believe you guys are bringing that up. Usually I can tell when you're going to be like, the Patriots got shafted on this one. That one never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, it was
Really?
definitely a pick.
No, I was
was
bad
blatant.
defense.
Madden called it out. He called it a little pick.
Yeah,
Like, oh, it's a pick play.
Well, he didn't say a little rub.
it did. Well, he would have called it what it is.
Was that illegal
A
back then?
penalty. I don't know.
He might have
Or
even
was
said
it-
got away with a little pick.
Yeah, I feel
Check
like
the tape, Steve.
it was illegal, but it wasn't as focused on back in the
Yeah,
day.
this shit never got called.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, it's a touchdown and it counted. So fuck it. Patriots will battle through that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ricky Proehl, the he of Dynasty fame, scores a touchdown.
Shampoos his way into the end zone.
That's right. Proehl's his way to the end zone. And now we've got ourselves a tie game with how much time left? Under a minute
Yeah,
this
no,
point?
137.
is when they scored
So
this touchdown.
it took them a total of like
up?
24 seconds to score that touchdown.
And 3 plays.
3 plays, 18, 11, and then 26. So that kind of puts in context what you're thinking of when Madden's like, maybe they shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you throw 3 incompletions and then punt. They
They
don't
got
even
plenty
need
of
to
time.
get a
They've got more than
touchdown.
24 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like flip side to that is like if you go to overtime, like what's gonna happen there too, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like you got to win it now. You did everything right to get to here. Put
Yep.
yourself in a position to win this game. You can't like back down now. You know.
Yeah, and I had a football or not football because he talked about that and he said you have to let them all hang out.
Mm. Well,
We all know what that means.
that's a real one.
Yeah,
I'll let them all hang on.
Because I mean, that's what we're talking about there, right?
yeah. No, John Madden said you just gotta flop your cock and let's go.
Just let them hang, baby.
But why? I've never really whenever I hear that term, I think like saggy titties in my head. Is that not what?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the female.
Oh,
version.
really?
Well, them hang out. I mean, your balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that? But
Yeah.
then, what are you doing? You just pull them around your cock, and
Well, no, you let everything hang out, but it's mainly focused on the ball so they can swing.
because I'll
Gotta
do
get
that.
swang.
If that means the Patriots are gonna win, I'll do it.
I'll do anything for a win.
Did I ever tell you about that time that before Kelly and I were dating when I was at her apartment when she wasn't there? Because we were friends, obviously.
No.
And she had left her laptop open.
Oh, no.
And I pulled my nutsack out of my jeans and like through the zipper. And I took a photo with her computer and made her background just a full-size picture of my nuts hanging out of my jeans. So she opened her computer in class
Oh no.
and was just staring at my big old bag of nuts.
Oh, your little squirrel brain there.
Oh man. And
Oh,
then we
I
found
remember-
love and we got married.
I
Which
remember
is not false. So
Speaking
back
of
to the
nuts.
biggest drive of
yeah. Back to Brady hanging it all out.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, before that, we gave Mike March shit about putting Falk back there for the Patriots do the exact same thing with Troy Brown returning the kickoff all
coach.
the way back to the 17-yard line.
Yeah,
Good
and he wasted
coaching.
9 seconds just running around.
So
Bad coaching, you know?
Wow, all right. You're just going to go out there.
Wait, do you not agree?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Patrick Pass, surprisingly a good return. It wasn't like they weren't getting nothing out of the return game.
Right.
It's true. Yeah.
Or if you're gonna do something like that, have a play in your back pocket. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe
But the
there
flip
was
side is-
something.
Like
You need-
Troy handles punts, right? And he's got that short air quickness. Like
Mhm.
that makes more sense than taking Marshall Falk and be like, all right, we need a spark, Marshall. Go out there and return this kick. Like what? For the first
Well,
time.
they
I mean,
say
is
he
it?
had done it before. Like,
Yeah,
it
Marshall
was his
Faulk.
first ever kick return.
Wasn't there a play in an important game where the Pats tried this and they did like one of those reverse ones?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Maybe we'll get to that somewhere down the road. But I expected that to be coming, and then it like failed miserably.
Just yeah,
Yeah.
back to the 17.
So I mean, this is similar, but
I looked at it. I
it
just
didn't
looked at-
seem like they had a plan. You know.
Yeah.
Marshall Faulk returned one punt in 2000, one in 2004. No,
What
one
about
kick.
kick returns?
Well, those are the
Yeah.
kick returns. That's it.
What about for the Colts?
No, this is entire career stats. 3 returns.
Wow.
What about in college? San Diego
Yeah, that's what I was
State.
thinking.
He's an Aztec.
He was. I had his football card.
I don't know. I'm on Pro Football Focus or Pro
Yeah.
Football Reference.
They have a college one.
They do not have an arena football one.
Damn
I
it.
learned that the other night too.
Andy, it sounds like you're going to do it.
What am I going to do?
He had 2 kick returns in college.
Sorry, so maybe this wasn't his thing.
Yeah.
So when John Madden said he'd done it before, he meant once.
Yes.
Cool.
John Madden just got stat checked 20 years later.
That'll teach him.
But I'm with you, Greg. I feel that it was overthinking it, right? Just put Patrick Pass back there. He's done a
Yeah.
good job. That's what he does
Yeah,
every day.
it was a surprise.
Or if you're gonna have something like have something like unique, you know?
Yeah.
Like a Frank Wycheck.
I guess
But
what,
hey,
it worked out.
Falk started on the 6, Troy started on the 17. He's 11 yards better.
That's
Yep.
right. And one super. So what's your favorite play on this last drive?
And we all know the favorite.
Yeah.
Well, all right, what's your second?
Ah.
The favorite play is obviously Troy Brown. What's your second favorite play?
The intentional grounding they didn't call.
Yeah.
He was out of the pocket.
I knew you'd say that.
I don't know if he was.
There was a
That was
receiver
borderline.
in that general vicinity.
Yeah.
Mine
There
was
was somebody
the,
running a go route down there, but he wasn't that close.
It was 41 seconds. They're on the 30. Like, it's getting, like, you don't have a lot of light there. And then he dumps it again to JR for the 3rd time in a row. And this is the
Yeah.
one where he, like, makes a guy miss and, like, barely gets out of bounds and, like, fumbles it as he's getting out of
Stretches it,
bounds
yeah.
after the first down. Yeah.
Yeah.
He stays in bounds there. Like, we're kind of fucked.
Game's
Like,
over.
on the 40 and the clock is ticking.
Yeah, that game.
Yeah. And like you'll see that like type of play maybe like once a season and like just randomly in college or NFL. And every time I see it, I go, that's the J.R. Redmond play.
Yeah, he got out of bounds.
Yeah.
Or more often, you'll see the guy doesn't get out of bounds, like tries to get a couple more yards and gets like 3 more yards, but wastes 30 seconds doing it.
Yeah. But it is a smart move to do that little like dink if you think you can get back out of bounds because that player, that defense is playing you right, thinking you're walking out.
Right. Oh, yeah. Allow them to get out of bounds.
Yeah. It was a smart move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they did that twice because Troy Brown did the same thing on that deeper cross. Gets the ball, gets as many yards as he can going forward, then just steps out of bounds.
Yep.
But always running towards. I thought a sneaky big play was the one after that, though, because I think that puts him at the 36 after Troy Brown's catch.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So now I think it would have been a 52 or 53 yard field goal, Madden was saying, or something. And so then they still run one more play. Brady finds Wiggins, his redemption, because he dropped a big one earlier.
Yes, he did.
That almost got picked. He batted it straight up. Scared the shit out of me. So Wiggins for 6 yards down to the 30, and then the iconic Brady spiking the ball and catching it with one hand and just holding it there. And Joe Cool.
More great
Yeah.
commentating from John Madden there.
Yes. Yes. Iconic commentary too.
Yep.
Walk me through it.
He said, like, what Brady did just gave me chills or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it gave him goosebumps.
That gave me goosebumps.
It actually
Yeah.
did. It gave me goosebumps
Hearing-
when he said that.
Yeah. I
And
think
then
he
there's
said
one
something like what that kid right there just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's a kid, you know?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's only one more play left.
And
then
that's
we'll
an iconic call.
I was
That's
just gonna say, we'll have to
Gil
put in the-
Santos. Dude, I have it up right now. Oh, I'm through my headphones though.
Yeah, no, I'll plug it in here in post.
Can we do our best impression?
Give it to me.
It's good. It's good.
Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. And then they're all just like laughing maniacally in the background.
Dude, his voice. I just
Listen to it
brought it
right
up on you.
Snap from the far hash mark, angle to the left for Adam Vinatieri. 48-yard field goal.
Set to go. Snap.
Set
Ball
to go.
down.
Snap, ball down. Kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. It's good. Adam Vinatieri
Yeah.
The
So
Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
So electric.
yeah.
I just got
And
goosebumps
just
again.
the first part of that brings me back to childhood, like listening to games in the car.
Yeah.
We used to always
All
call
the
out the
time.
hash
Yeah.
mark. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it used to be like left to right, or
He was the best radio commentator I remember.
Oh yeah.
He would paint that picture immediately.
Dude,
I
So you
mean,
could just visualize it when you're not watching.
I never paid any attention to it.
I always
Did
did.
you?
Especially, yeah, because I always used to try to picture it in my mind.
Oh,
I never really paid attention either, Greg.
yeah. I mean, it was cool, filler noise that, now looking back is nostalgic, but I never was like, all right, okay, it's on the near hash, left to right.
Yeah.
Okay. I never did that.
But I never realized I did it until he retired and the new guy Sosi started doing it, and he doesn't do that. And it started driving me nuts. I'm like, what's going on? Where's the ball? I don't understand. What down is it? How what's the down and distance? And
it's
he just does
sneaky
it so completely
cool,
differently.
starting a game on the radio and then you get to your house and you start watching it on TV.
Yeah,
I'm being like, this is not what I pictured in my head at all.
exactly. It's
I
always
can
different.
remember some games where we would mute the TV and put the radio in front of it.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
Also, and again, I saw this on that YouTube video I just watched on the Gil and Gino call. Charles Johnston, not even excited.
Oh yeah, he was
Really?
flexing
They
at the
immediately
camera.
cuts to
Yeah.
him of all people.
Yeah,
And
and
he's
he's
just
just
like,
sitting
"Yeah,
there just yapping at the camera for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, he was listening to Pat Summerall's call, so.
So it wasn't that exciting.
And it is good. The Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He did say unbelievable, but in the most believable tone you could imagine.
Oh, good lord.
I think
Tom
that was
Brady
a thing,
comes-
though, wasn't it? The monotone play-by-play people.
Probably, yeah.
Because I think Joe Buck is trained in similar
Yeah.
fashion,
Kind of, yeah.
where they're supposed to maintain, not do
Supposed to
emotional.
report what's going on, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And the color guy. All right, so
Not Gil Santos, though, huh?
No, nope.
I mean, he
Or
had it
Scott Zolak, for
together.
that matter.
Yeah. The best part is he has it for the first 10 seconds of that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck this.
Yeah, I see
I'm
what you're
celebrating,
saying.
baby.
Yeah. You can just feel it.
It's
Yeah.
good.
And you're right, the people in the background just going nuts, in the studio with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the best part. You could hear everybody in the background. So good.
And Wani Paxton runs down, does the snow angel.
Yeah. It just
Pretty cool.
you're right, Greg. It brings you right back. I remember standing up and punching the ceiling so hard that I shredded my knuckles on the popcorn ceiling. I think Dad did the same thing.
Yeah.
Because every time I talk, still the first thing he talks about is scraping his. You just remember
Fucking
exactly
set
what
of
it was.
balls on Adam Vinatieri, huh?
Yeah.
Dude.
He
What?
nailed it.
48-yarder, but that could have been a 50-something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a stat on the screen that says has never missed a field goal in a dome.
Yeah.
And he just says, fuck you, buddy.
Goddamn right I haven't.
And then they bring that setup every single time he kicks in the dome, too.
Yeah.
Oh, another stat that I forgot was the New England Patriots early in the fourth quarter. They showed a stat. They're 11-0 record when leading after 3 quarters. So the Patriots were 12-0 after leading.
In their franchise history.
I think it was that season. But it may have
Also-
been, actually. Hard to tell.
I thought I heard him say that Brady was the youngest quarterback to win a Super Bowl at that
He
point.
was.
Yeah. He was
Yeah,
the third
yeah,
youngest to
say that.
play.
Ugh, talk about how times have changed, huh?
Mm.
I don't think that's just that only.
Well,
Yeah.
he's got that and the oldest, right? He's got both bookends to that record.
He
Oh, he
was
doesn't
the
have
best. Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't anymore.
he's definitely
I think it's Big Ben now,
To win?
the youngest to win a Super Bowl.
Oh,
the. Yeah.
really?
Yeah. That's a pretty sick bookend to your career though, right? The
Yeah.
youngest quarterback to win a Super Bowl at the time and then the oldest to win a Super Bowl at the time.
That's
That
true, yeah.
that kind of speaks to Brady's legacy, right? And it's still going if we're honest.
He was 23.
Benny.
years old.
Fuck him.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was 25 when he.
He had barely raped his first woman at that point.
Oh, wow.
God damn.
Yeah. We'll cut that part.
Yeah.
I just like my mind instinctively goes to rape when I hear the name Ben Roethlisberger.
Most people's does.
Jeez.
All right, so let's do some best and worst. Greg, what are your best and worst of this game?
Can I phone a friend?
Yes.
Andy, what are your best and worst? You guys go first. I haven't.
All right. We've talked about most things. A couple of my favorite small things. Troy Brown, when David Patton scored his touchdown, was so busy celebrating. They showed a picture of Troy Brown going and getting the football and like carrying it back to the sideline for Patton so he could keep it, which just feels like such a typical Troy Brown. And then also they did the halftime interview with Bill Belichick. Like, so what second half adjustment do you think we need to make? It's like, stay out of long yardage on offense. And that was it.
Ron Pitts.
And then walked away.
That was one of those interviews where he's like, I know this is going to suck. I'm going to ask him one question and then send it right back up. Yeah.
Well, Pat Summerall said he's gotten easier to talk to. Yeah. Billy Belichick has gotten easier to converse with. That was legit.
Like, Jesus.
And then my worst was the broadcast, the little photography in the corner. Whenever it was fourth down, the down and distance marker would show as yellow. So it showed up after every third down play. It showed up as yellow, which is exactly where they put the flag on the field marker as well in yellow. So every third down play, I thought there was.
That's good lead into my worst.
Ooh,
is like that feeling when your team, like this is the Tabaki Jones in reference to that the touchdown call back. That feeling when your team makes a huge play and you hear the announcer go, oh, there's a flag in the field, and you're just like, fuck. There's nothing. It's really the worst feeling ever because you go from the highest of highs down to the lowest of lows,
So true, yeah.
And you're just like sitting there hoping and praying that it's not against your team. And you're like yelling at the TV, like, just tell us what the fuck it is.
Exactly.
You're losing patience immediately. Yeah. Like it's been 2 seconds. You're already yelling at the refs, like, figure it out. And look, let me see this replay.
Yeah. Throw it to me.
You're like preemptively mad at
dude.
The
that
refs.
was within 5 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh fuck.
All right, and my best, it's just the image seared in my mind. I think this is Antoine Smith.
Yes.
When they show that back screen and he's like high stepping onto the field with his helmet in his hand, I always that's like burned in my mind, in my memory.
100%.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just a cool, unique reaction.
Belichick hugging Lawyer Malloy and his daughter.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of images that were like seared in my memory from this game. You know,
my God, yeah.
Like obviously him catching the ball with the one hand.
Yep.
Even Gil Santos's call, like those certain like things that just you'll probably never forget, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Never. I mean, if I haven't forgot it in 20 years, I can't imagine.
It's never happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I've done a fair amount of drugs, so.
I mean, you're the one really working against it, so you're still gonna remember it.
All right, Steve. What's your best and worst?
My worst, outside of listening to Pat Summerall, was you can never tell how many timeouts are left on it either.
Yeah.
Right. So you never, because like everyone was just throwing timeouts around willy nilly, and you're like, well, what number timeout was that? And like nowadays, all like the on-screen graphics will tell you how much timeouts they have left.
Yep. Yeah.
This one's just
tell you the down and distance.
All season, it wasn't like that.
Always.
Like none of them just had like timeouts left.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree.
And then the best is just like rewatching the game. Like if you got 2 hours, a little under 2 hours, it's definitely worth it. Just because there's so many little pieces in there. I was like, man, if that had gone differently, or if that had gone differently, this whole thing would have been different. And it's just awesome to like experience the whole thing again.
Yeah, it's better than highlights because you get like that feeling of the flow of the game. Like even the way the announcers are talking about things where they're like, oh, the Rams, they could get back into this game. And you're like, I remember feeling that anxiety at the time.
And especially
we've all watched that last drive, right? So like everyone knows play by play on the last drive, but to like watch all the other plays leading up to it, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah, yeah. Just to remember the feeling before that last drive.
Yep.
makes it just feel that. Well, I think we've done a solid job on this 2-part Super Bowl special episode.
Yep, covered it like Ty Law covered Isaac Bruce.
Oh, girl. All the way to the end zone.
There was one play there when he like broke on Bruce's run. He ended up tripping, but it looked like he knew what Bruce was running before he did. And the filming practice thing did cross my mind at that time. I was like, there's no way anybody's that good.
Ty Law,
but it's Ty Law. Yeah, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
And Dre Bly did that later on in the game, too.
On that crosser or that slant.
On that slant play. He knew what was coming. So maybe it's the other way around. Maybe Marshall Faulk is so upset about this because he knows that
guilty conscience.
his team actually did film it.
Yeah.
He just assumed everybody's doing it.
It's like those like pastors that like preach about hating gays and then they're banging,
Yeah, they're caught in the
choir boys on the side. Yeah.
the men's bathroom with their stance too wide. Yeah.
He doth protest too much, me says, or some shit like that. I definitely butchered that.
I'll take it.
You guys know it?
Yeah.
No, I think you're close enough.
The lady doth protest something.
Yeah.
Steve, you got it?
Nope.
No,
You know what I'm talking about.
I know
though,
what you're
right?
talking about, but I don't know what it is. Cool.
I think you're close enough.
I just butchered that.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll put it in post edit.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Is this a royal way you're going to do this for me? You editing this
You're
one?
right. I say this all the time. Like, cut that out. I have no control over what's getting cut. Andy does it all. Yeah. Hey, and since this is the end of the season, shout out Andy Brown for all the organizing, all the editing, all the internet database, the whole fucking 9 yards.
Social media, tweeting at Matt Chatham, doing everything.
Yeah,
That's true,
this isn't possible without you, Andy, and I've
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
And that's the only nice thing I'll say to you this year.
Well, luckily the year's done, boys. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate you boys doing this. I know at the beginning we said that all I asked of you was to last a whole lot longer than I think any of us are. This is only the beginning, I think. So,
Yeah, on to next year.
Yeah.
No days off.
No days off. Except for maybe 2002 season.
Yeah, we should just do some stupid episodes.
You just want to do that
We'll
kiss
probably do some of
episode,
those
Greg.
too.
Oh, dude. I got some stuff down the rabbit hole last night of just kiss merchandising in general. Whew.
Save it for 2002, baby.
All right.
All right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next season on the Patriots Dynasty podcast.
All right.
See ya.
See you later.
All right, let's play us out with "It's a Beautiful Day." Hey, 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 hey. I bet you two would probably cut.